back. Consider this part 2 of my previous live. You can, if you watch the other one, everything else I got to say will make sense. I'm not going to give a full monologue introduction, but I will say, hey, I'm Joseph R. Wheeler the third. Peace up, A-Town down. I'm the third, representing Metro ATL and the world, because we are a global entity. ONYXCON is all about that travel life, and that's what I was talking about for today. ONYXCON is not only a travel channel, though. Make it clear, we are a multi-niche, edutainment-based organization for helping you live your best creative lifestyle, aka your art life. All right. Yeah, whether you're an artist or not, you can live the art life. Because if you appreciate art, you still live in the art life. Because you got to help us be what we are as artists. We don't get it from just existing as islands. We need people who support our art and our creative visions and our way of seeing things and our way of thinking outside the box, and help everybody else wake up to realizing that that's, quite frankly, not an option, but a necessity to living the best life. Everybody who wants to travel and live abroad and things like what I was about to start talking, what I will be talking about, that I was starting to talk about in my previous live. What do you go visit when you go see places? What's most important to you when you pick activities? You want to be beautiful places with beautiful people, beautiful food, healthy food, culinary art, because that's what food is. That's what the art of cooking and preparing meals is. It's culinary art. So you're looking for culinary art. You're looking for cultural art experiences. You look and you want to see murals on buildings that are beautiful and different and reflect the culture of the place you're at, or the reaction of that place to other places. Because you could be somewhere in a whole other side of the world and somebody have a mural up that reflects their love for something that's not even native. Like, you look at the phenomenon of anime and manga out of Japan. You can go anywhere in the world and see anime style characters and murals and things, you know what I mean? Or kids and everybody, adults, everybody, whoever's into it. You know what I mean? It don't matter if you're outside of Japan. It's a phenomenon, or art, cultural expression that is universal at this point in history. Just like hip hop as an art form. It is a cultural experience of many experiences, not one. Like I said, we do it for the cultures, not for no culture. Which one? What you talking about? It's very narrow, and we don't play them games with words. We're going to say exactly what it is. We do it for the cultures. Because where we intersect, like I say, like Spaghetti Junction. If you're from Atlanta, that made all the sense in the world to you. We intersect like Spaghetti Junction. Where we cross paths and where we don't, we don't. You in your lane, I'm in mine. What you do ain't all of what I'm gonna do. So that's what we mean when we say for the cultures. And that's the hashtag I created. So if you ever see it used with an S or with a Z, right here, that's the foundation. So check it, y'all. Let's talk about it. We was talking about expat life, living outside the country, 6 months to a year to more, what that is nowadays. And in my research of it, I was saying that, what cracks me up about a lot of folks, when you start the process of trying to figure out where you want to be, if you want to be somewhere else or want to visit other places and live other places, first got to visit. You just got to have a vacation, right? That would be I wouldn't advise anybody from what places I've been so far just be like, I'm just fed up. I'm just moving to such and such with $100 in my pocket. Like, wherever such and such is, man, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it. I don't care how much bang for your buck you get. I don't care how much more powerful the American dollar is in other places in the world, some places. You ain't gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? You need to research. You need to go there and experience it on just a vacation. It's an expensive process, but it's worth it if you decide you're gonna do it. And I'm saying that not having done it. I've never lived completely outside the country. I've been outside the country, but not lived. Like, this is where I'm at now, at least 6 months out of the year, but I plan to live it. That's part of my goals. So in that being part of my goals and part of ONYXCON's goals as an institution, as an organization, we want to share with people that process. So like I say, starting with square one, there's a lot of hype on YouTube, I notice, with a lot of vloggers, other vloggers. Some that I respect. Some I respect that I still don't necessarily agree with everything they do, but I respect their content enough that I follow them regardless. And I like to hear what they got to say, because they're more experienced in that regard than I am. They got the money more. They do more travel. As I speak, they're in another country. They're always somewhere else. And then there's the people who are just like, they live in that same thing I just described, but like everything they say, their ethics, the way they look at the world, the way they are about life in general, 90-something% of the time, we see eye to eye, and I feel like if I ever met them in real life, we'd be best friends, you know what I'm saying? Off the top of my head, some people that fit that description would be like Brother Ace Live, shout out to Ace. I've actually had a few conversations with Ace in DMs on Instagram and stuff, just supportive recommendations of how to do this thing as a YouTuber and how to keep going, be inspired, you know. And the most important thing he said that every YouTuber says, but to hear it from him just made it gold for my life, was that's just an easy, something you hear a lot from YouTubers about doing this that is true. You gotta do, my numbers did not change. I didn't, every day. I feel bad if I miss a day, I'd be so mad. Like, damn, all I had to do was post a short, just a short. Cause shorts be killing it right now. That's all I'm mostly posting. I post, you know, as you can see, I got my long videos. When there's a major event come up, we covered ONYXCON, we covered other Memorial Day activities. We did the Atlanta Carnival. We went to the parade for that, which was dope. Y'all need to be watching that. Y'all, I ain't got enough numbers on that. I'm kind of salty about that. I'm like, y'all crazy? Do you see this beauty, these women, this music, this hype, this hotness? Man, if y'all don't go ahead and watch that video, you got to be on that. That is classic material. And I know it's gonna be one of them slow grows. I've had videos like that before. They start all in 50 views, 70, and then one day I wake up and it's like, boom, 1,000, or they hit a few hundred, and it's just rolling. And before I know it, it'll hit thousands. You know, that happened with my content from LA when I went to a car show out there. Shout out to Tuner Evo and all the beautiful women between the vehicles. Lord, candy. Well, yeah. So all stuff you could buy, stuff you might like, from comic books to toys, apparel, you know, clothing and whatnot. We got it, y'all, we got it. And the sneaker videos be hitting hard. Sneakerhead culture is real. It's real. I've been knowing that, but going woo-woo about some shoes, and I love it because I just post what I like, you know what I mean? I go in the stores, I see something fresh, I'm like, yeah, I like that. And most of y'all like that, you know what I mean? So I love that. And then I share a lot of history of music with y'all, because the stuff I be picking, I know a lot of generations, it's new to y'all ear. Y'all ain't heard some of that stuff that I grew up on, or even stuff that I find now in my older years that, I didn't say old, damn it, I ain't old, you know what I'm saying? Better add the ER to it or end up in the ER, that's the phrase, okay? But no, for real, like, it's real, y'all. Like, I get the freshest stuff for y'all. And most of y'all who are real subscribers, y'all know, because y'all here for it, and I appreciate y'all. Thank you to my monetization nation. So continuing to talk, I was saying that, like, a lot of the popular places, the top places I would say in the world right now, because of all the hype online, Mexico forever, just, you know, whichever part of it you want to say, but Mexico forever. Of course, Cancun and the whole Yucatan area is top vacation territory and all that stuff. Panama is starting to heat up. People starting to talk about Panama a little bit more. Dominican Republic is the most visited Caribbean nation. If you didn't know, that's a fact. I found that out when I went there. I kept hearing it and I said, what? Looked it up and said, I'll be there. I knew it was popular, but I didn't realize it was the most visited. I said, that's wow, that's heavy. And it made it make sense about why people, as far as expat culture, move there. Because hell, if you keep coming back and you like it, you're like, man, what the hell? I'll just get a place here. You know what I mean? If you can afford it, right? Because don't get it twisted. So what? That the pesos more bang for your buck? That don't mean things that can't get expensive and that they're not. Because yeah. I would say you just get more for your money depending on what you want. Like, if a beachfront or 15 minutes away from a beach walk property is possible, and I know this for a fact, possible for 250 to 350,000 versus in Atlanta, you can't even scratch and sniff an ad for a damn house for less than $400,000. And it could be right around the corner from hell. Okay? You're 15 minutes away from pop, pop, bang, bang, okay? And all of that instead of, man, there's a beach. And it's beautiful. And it's not junky. And it's not nasty. And it's not, you know, I'm talking about in a nice area. In the stuff that makes for postcards and, you know, the dream visions that people have of going places. Like, yeah, that level living in Dominican Republic for under $400,000 for a home. I'm telling you, I know this to be a fact, right? And I'm actually chopping it up with some people since my trip there to stay abrupt of how that goes and what possibilities are, because I ain't got it now, but when ONYXCON gets it, I like to say the house that ONYXCON built. We're gonna do some things, y'all. That's why I tell y'all, support this channel, because I'm gonna show you the process. I'm gonna make my life an example of how you can live your best art life. And it's gonna be freaking amazing. It already is, but it's just gonna get better and better the more support we get, the more people we get to subscribe. When we start hitting them M's, okay, we start hitting the millions. I'm talking about, we need our first video to go over 1 million. That's what we first need. Then we need to hit, you know, the 100,000 something followers, subscribers, you know, and that leads to the 1 million of subscribers. When we get like that, I'm telling you, there's no stopping the train. The train been rolling, but we're gonna act like, you know, you watching the Fast and the Furious and they hit that little turbo tank and then the car be like, yeah. Oh, you think you beat me? All right, ONYXCON, Monetization Nation, it's morphin' time. Bow, hit the button. And my face going like this. That's when we do that. All right? That's when we do that. So back to my list of all these popular spots. Like I said, Panama starting to gain traction. Mexico always hot. Dominican Republic always hot for travel from America. Everybody want to go there. Everybody want to see it, etc. Thailand. It's like people talk about Thailand. There's no other place in Southeast Asia, and I still gotta go. I want to go to Thailand. I'm not dissing. None of my what word I want to use. None of my frustration with trendiness about visiting or doing anything has anything to do with how beautiful and amazing these places are. Because every one of these places are popular for good reasons. They are absolutely beautiful. That I know. Even the ones I haven't been to, I know that to be a fact. From all the stuff I've seen, videos, I mean, I've been studying this for years, y'all. Years, all my life, but especially in the last 5, I've been drenched in it. You know, I wake up every day, it's like another part of my day. I have to watch travel videos. I love it. It feeds my soul. It keeps me knowing the world is bigger than where I'm at and there's other possibilities. I don't have to feel stuck at any time in the day. I can always remember my own trips, what it took to get there, and the next one's around the corner if I keep going with the effort I'm putting in, which I am. So it's meant to be. It's all I got. That's all I got to say about that. What it's meant to be gonna be, and I'm here for it. Universe blessed. So and views and opinions expressed by yours truly are not necessarily reflecting those of ONYXCON's affiliates, associates, sponsors, etc. I gotta say it like that. You know the drill. Because like I say, people get to, you know, you start talking about countries and people from the place get a little antsy about it. Some people don't want to hear you say positive things. Some people don't want to hear you say negative things. Some people don't want to hear you say anything when it comes to their countries and stuff. But y'all got to understand, we just giving the truth from what our perspective is of what we absorb. Whether we went there, know somebody who went there, trying to get there, the headaches you find in the process, all of that stuff, man. These new rules with new visas and new expenses and new, I mean, you got folk digging in your bank account. They got to know they got to see your damn tax returns for you to even get in the country sometimes in some of these places now. You know, like I mentioned Thailand. They changed some stuff. If you want to live in Thailand now, you got to have like 120,000, okay, annual income. They want to see bank notes. And I know, like, even as a YouTuber, I couldn't be like, hey, if I made it to that point of monetization, be like, look, this is what I'm making on average. They'd be like, yeah, that's all fine and good, but what's in the bank account? And then because I'm an organization, they would probably be like, well, that's your organization. What about you? It'd be like, well, I work for my organization, so wherever it goes, I go. So it pays me. Excuse me. Damn hiccups. What the hell? Pardon me, y'all. Good gracious. That's one of them violent hiccups right there. Goodness. That was one of them ones make you feel like, make your eyes tear up. Shit. Damn. Yes, y'all. And you don't stop. Are we live then? Are you my friend? Then subscribe this way. Subscribe this way. Hit that button today. Subscribe today, all right? As we continue, here we go. Hold on. All right, y'all. All right. Respect first, then power, then money, right? You gotta respect the ability to. You got an opportunity. You go ahead and take it. Gives you the power to do some things that can make you some money, and then what happens? You make some money. You feel me? Now we're gonna keep priorities in line. Now we back over here with y'all. We never give up on what the dream is. The dream is everything that ONYXCON already is and what it will be. Oh my gosh, again, what it will be, y'all, when y'all start subscribing crazy. I'm talking about when the numbers go through the roof, when it's just like, shout out to everybody who loved my watermelon video again. I'm proud of that, man. I showed how to pick a real watermelon, seeded melon, a real melon. I can't stress the word enough. We got to get back. We got to demand real food, you know, or go live places where it's not something you have to demand. It's just, you don't even have to say organic. It's like automatic. All the food is organic. We would not eat it if it weren't, you know. That's another reason why I want to live in other places most of my time for the rest of my life. I'm sorry. I'm tired of the debate, man. It's like, it ain't going to change. It's too far gone at this point. America's trying to become more and more artificial. It's not going to. You can get to the point. Y'all going to be damn near, y'all going to be eating plastic. I mean, straight up. And be like, no, it's laced with vitamins. And you're already eating it. Technically, it's just, they don't want to tell you exactly what everything is for everything. When you do the research, you know, man, look at what some of this stuff is encased in, and don't be on these damn drugs that if you ain't gotta be on it. Some of these damn prescription drugs, man, the stuff they put in people, it's amazing. It's amazing. But anyway, so I was going down my list of all these popular places and why, even though they're popular and I want to go some of these that I haven't been yet, my goal is to, when I get there, do something different with the content, something you've never seen before, like I always do. You know, when I went to Cancun, I didn't stay in Cancun. I was meant to have at least one night in a nice, fancy hotel in Cancun, just to have that experience. But because of some stuff that happens when you're traveling, it threw off everything, and I never got that. I did still see Cancun, but I stayed in Playa del Carmen, and it was just a basic Holiday Inn. It was a nice one too. It was still nice, but I'm saying it wasn't super fancy. And it was just a basic. All I care when it comes to that's all I need anywhere I go. I don't need the fanciness. I'll take it if it's there. If I can find it for a discount. If I can find a way to make it make sense. But I'm not going to spend all my money on, you know, the hotel or the Airbnb, and I prefer hotels. I know some of y'all just stuck on Airbnb, but I had too many negative experiences with Airbnb. I ain't gonna say forever done, but I'm mostly done. I'm resorting hotel any day over that BS. I mean, preferably just a really nice hotel is just fine for me, you know, because they're gonna want to uphold their reputation. They're not trying to lose their credentials and their rating. Versus Airbnb, I mean, you got to think about the culture of it. It's literally everyday people who've never done it a day in their life and just decide one day because they find out there's money in it, they want to run a space like a hotel. If you don't have your heart in it, your mind in it, from a business standpoint, your ethics in it, where like, yo, if I had to lay my head here, would I want to stay here? If all you think about, oh, I'm going to make some money, I'll tell y'all all the time, that damn mentality of putting money first is the plague of human existence. It is the most evil thing. It's not the money itself. It's the psychology that puts money ahead of everything. You gotta keep respect first, then power, then money. That's the order. I don't give a damn who, and I don't care how rich somebody is. Look, birds of a feather flock together, and since corruption is run rampant and ignorance is rampant too, like, yeah, you'll see a bunch of rich, psychotic, crazy people like who runs the White House seem like they run the world, but how many people really respect them or like them for real, for real? There would be not 13, the last time they did it on the same day, 13,000 protests in America of this individual. There's not been a president in my lifetime had that many protests going on one day of your ass. That ought to tell you something. So it's not the way to be. But it's hard to tell a child that when, you know, grown folk that never grew up, when they think that way, they just, what you talking about? You just broke. Yeah, well, you're going to find out what broke is too. Like the literal meaning of broke. Keep messing around with everyday people that's trying to make a living, and we're going to see who's going to end up broke. Because broken bones. Woo. I'm trying to tell you. Keep playing. I'm telling you what I know, not what I heard. I just know how life goes. That ass whooping is karma. It's a bitch. It's coming. It's coming. There's no way around it. All right? If you don't catch it, and let me tell you something else about one thing I had to learn about. Because, you know, you get older and you say, yeah, but the motherfucker's still alive and they seem to be healthy and they doing all this diabolical stuff. Look at them. Why they get to be so fly and get out? You don't see them in the bathroom when every time they take a dump, they got hemorrhoids that look like a grape bunch hanging out their behind. And yeah, I know that's pretty graphic, right? But I'm just giving you the real. You know, they got all kinds of diseases and bumps that can't be cured and stuff. And they got makeup and hair folk to cover up all their disease. You know the people in Dune, the nasty villain folk that be spewing all the bumps? And you ever watch Dune if you know the series, okay? Or not just the new series. I'm talking about if you ever just know anything about Dune and just that whole cosmos that was created. Them nasty mofos, the big blow up, fat, nasty Jabba the Hutt type people, that's the kind of people they talking about. Yeah, they rich, but look how, is this what you want to trade in for money? You gonna walk around looking like that? You gonna feel like that? Some of y'all like, yeah, I'm like that now. I know I'm ugly, so I'll be, you know, well, okay, well, I'm not talking to you. For those of us who love ourselves and want to be attractive and maintain our health and, you know, attract other attractive people, then, you know, that's all I'm talking to. I ain't talking to people who want to become living pests and oozing nasty bubbles of you know, yeah. That's what that really is behind doors that you don't see. Cameras is a mother sucker, I promise you. They can cover up a lot of stuff. I'm in the film business. I've seen a lot of cover-ups in my day. I've seen somebody come to set looking homeless, and by the time they come out of hair and makeup, you're like, oh, damn, I didn't know Beyonce was here today. Shit, what the hell? Yo, was that Idris Elba? Oh, no, that's that guy who came in earlier who looked homeless. After they go through it, and that's no diss to Beyonce or Idris. I'm saying those are two beautiful people that, you know, intelligent people got the joke, but you gotta be literal nowadays. Damn, look at that big deer. Whoa, I couldn't turn the camera if I wanted to. My dad would have a fit if he saw what I just saw. Big boy out here with his new velvet antlers. He had antlers, but he had the velvet on them. When they get their fresh antlers and they haven't rubbed out the velvet yet, I haven't seen one in that stage in a long time. Whitetail. You know, of course, this is Georgia. You know what it is, if you do know. That's awesome. He wasn't the biggest in body. I mean, he was healthy. He was like a young teenage deer, but strong buck, man. He's over there on the sidelines over here. I'm riding by an area, and this is not no woods and stuff. This is like an industrial area. It's like warehouses and stuff out here where I'm at right now. But there was enough of something over there for him to eat. He was just standing there wagging his tail, looking at folks drive by, chilling. Oh man, back to my list though, because I done went on so many tangents, as I will. all my real subscribers, they love it. Y'all gotta love me because I know y'all here for it. Y'all used to my way. Y'all know how I do. Everybody else, you either get used to it or get lost because it ain't gonna change. I'm gonna be me. That's what I'm here to be. So back to that list, y'all. So that list, like I said, so I already said Panama, Dominican Republic, Thailand, Mexico. Talking about all these popular spots that everybody want to always talk about. Oh, on the motherland, Kenya, South Africa, and who else do I? That's about, to be honest, and I mean, Egypt is always automatically on the list for the ancient ruins and everything, but people don't really talk about Egypt on some, hot getaway, sexy getaway. No, it's all historic. That's all people mostly think of when they think of Egypt. They just like, go to Cairo, see the pyramids, see the museums, eat some food, go home. Now, me, what I want to do, I want to see everything I just said, of course, but I got to go fishing, because that's where fishing began. I'm going to say it again, because somebody in the back didn't hear me, especially if they stuck on some false history. The word angler comes from an English word for angle, which is a hook. But the first hook that was ever made in the world for the purpose of fishing is in ancient Kemet, which is Egypt. That is correct. I don't care what AI is gonna say. I don't care what your friends and your family, your racist cousin, your what. I don't care. Look up the truth. Look up the truth. You ain't gonna find no hook older in Europe nowhere. Okay? than what was found in ancient Egypt. These are just facts. This ain't about comparing. This is why I don't like the concept of the constructs of all this race, your race and my race. It ain't about that. It's just about facts. Ancient Africans created the everything of what became fishing as we know it. So to fish the Nile, man, that's mandatory. That's like bucket list. It's happening. I'm telling you now. I'm going. We're gonna figure out the when, where, and the how, but I'm going. You understand me? It's mandatory. It's mandatory. And I'm gonna share that with my people, with my ONYXCON fam. Y'all gonna have a fit when I finally do that. Because I'm gonna have a fit when I finally do that. That's glory, right? Back to the list. South Africa. South Africa remains popular on the list of places in Africa because, hell, it's, you know, you got Cape Town, you got all this industry and fanciness with the cities and all that stuff, and people love to talk about that. The other one that is high on the radar is Nairobi. Nairobi, Kenya. Man, Kenya is, woohoo! It's beautiful. I've seen it. I ain't seen it with my, 2 eyes, but I've seen it. I've talked to some honeys from Kenya before. Thought they were going to be the muse of why I ended up going there. I will say there is an issue of flakiness. And there's a lot of young culture in Kenya. It's specifically Nairobi. I haven't done this official look. I need to do a quick Google and see what is the percentage of, elders versus youth in Nairobi. I bet you it's a mostly young folk town because the energy is very hot and trendy. They know all about your American stuff. They know all. You start singing a song, they're gonna be singing it right with you. You start rapping a song, they're gonna be rapping it right with you. It's good and bad in the same time. It's good for relatability. It's bad for misinterpretation of, as I say again, we do it for the cultures because people be looking up stuff. They don't really know what they're saying. They're repeating some little trendy phrase from America. I'm like, that's so disrespectful. We don't need another damn generation of folk getting ratchet and crazy. And I always try and teach them when I meet them. And they want to say stuff like, they see you, the black American. They want to be like, oh, what's up, my end? I'm like, no, don't do that shit. Don't do that. No, we're not doing that. Oh, I didn't mean it. Like, I know what you didn't mean and what you think it means, but that ain't it for me. Don't do that. Ain't no in the funk. I'm trying to go home finally to this place that's part of my genetic home roots, and had to hear that nonsense and other stuff like I never left. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that in the motherland. I'm sorry. I don't even want to debate it. Ain't nothing to talk about. And ain't nobody that wasn't born when I was born could tell me a thing about it. Just shut up, classes and sessions, sit your young ass down. That's how I feel about that. So I've had my moments with that. Like, actually, I wasn't even checking for her. She was hitting up me. I was a honey who hit me up it wasn't Nairobi, but it was nearby. And she was at her brother. I mean, she was, when they like you, they love you. I'm here to tell you, fellas. When they like you, they love you. You will feel like a superstar, for real. They will let you know that talking to you is like, and it's not all hype. It's not like you feel like you getting gassed up so they can be like, oh, my mama's sick and my cousin's sick and you send money. I'm not saying that those types don't exist today, the scammers and stuff. But in all of the maybe 4 women I've talked to out of Kenya, none of them were ever on that stuff. Matter of fact, they always had their own money. They weren't necessarily rich, but they okay. They had an apartment, they had their own place. They like me, they got enough to take care of themselves. So they ain't asking for nobody to take care of them. And they prefer you knowing that that's not their agenda. And I love that. So that is a big turn on for that. It makes me think, as far as just in terms of even just adventure travel, vacation, whatever, Kenya is high on the list. Nairobi especially. But okay, y'all doing the most, man. You had to stop, like, yo, little girl, he young as shit. Let's see his face in the damn side mirror. Don't keep doing that in your little, what is that anyway? That's like I don't know what that is, a Hyundai or something? Your damn engine explode. Oh my gosh, kids. To be young again. Oh my gosh. Anyway, and the only reason he did that because somebody just passed by on the other side and they goosing their engine, but they in a damn Mustang and it's really made for what it's doing. And yours is something you done tried to do in the garage that I promise can't hang. Just calm down. Stop the nonsense. I can hear the loose screws, you know. And I'm no mechanic. Anyway. Oh my gosh. So people do the most, y'all. People be doing the most when they go these places and everything. And I get tired of seeing the YouTube videos that make it seem like the only thing to do is just go to the clubs and smoke some hookah and drink. And I'm like, first of all, that's not me. So when I watch these videos, I laugh all the time when if they go a place and they get bored, like there wasn't enough hookah, there wasn't enough drink. I'm like, that's why you left America to just find a different place to do the same lame shit you do here? Damn, y'all lame. Like, you made it all the way to a place some people will never see in a lifetime, and you didn't go on you didn't go out to the safari, man. You didn't see the safari, and if you did see the safari, you didn't take the one that actually, you know, gives you a real experience, not just no little quick in and out. No, like, you go get the full thing, man. You really get to see a lot of different animals, a lot of different plants you've never seen in your life in their natural environment. I mean, maybe you've been in a circus, but that ain't natural. We talking about, this is where a lion's supposed to be, you know? An elephant's supposed to be. I am so here for that. Do you understand me? That is golden. That's back to being on the Nile, fishing on the Nile, catching a Nile perch, catching a tiger fish. Oh my God, that's my top. Tiger fish in Africa is one of my top all-time gotta get it catches. I need a tiger fish in my life. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up and you're gonna say, good gosh. And yeah, them teeth, baby. I'm an orthodontist when it comes to fish. I love teeth. I love animals with teeth. I love that. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. It just speaks to the power of what you got when that thing takes the line and starts peeling the drag on that rod and reel. Woo! Get my blood pressure happily up, you know, in a good way, not detrimental. Make your heart beat 10,000 years longer. Man, what? Tiger fish off the Nile? You won't be able to tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Straight up, you know? Out there with crocodiles and freaking water vipers and damn hippos, Lord, the ultimate annihilators on the Nile. You know, all that you're gonna have to have a good captain that knows how to. Is the engine gassed up properly? Is it gonna take off when we need to, when the damn hippo starts charging the boat and shit? You know, all that old stuff. Like, I need them kind of experiences. Yeah, you know, some of these YouTubers out here, they visited the world's most dangerous hoods. 200 gangs, will he make it out? Man, that's lame. That's literally just wallowing in human scrapple, human depression, human misfortune, disease of the mind and otherwise. Like, what the hell we celebrating, man? Like, to be aware of it, fine. Okay, how bad it is for some so you can appreciate what you got? Absolutely. I've watched enough of it to know that's how it makes me feel. But acting like that's entertainment? No, that's not entertainment, man. That's sorrow. That's sorrow. You need the Kleenex out when you watch that kind of BS. Man, get you some. You need some danger, but excitement and value at the same time. Watch nature content. Be one with the rest of nature. You know what I'm saying? I ain't through with y'all. I got more to do. But we'll be back.